Okay, I'm going to get started. So this week's topic is limiting belief and how to overcome limiting beliefs. So I'm going to talk about a few things. So first, what is a limiting belief? Then I talk about how do you actually identify and overcome limiting beliefs. And then I will talk about how you can actually redesign your beliefs, so have more empowering belief and condition your mind so that you can actually overcome that belief over time. So first of all, let's talk about beliefs. So beliefs are so important because they are how you actually design, you think about the world. So I remember reading a study a while ago that said that people who see aging as a bad thing, they tend to actually die earlier than people who actually had no negative or limiting belief regarding aging. Also, one thing I heard all the time is people who are in their 30s, 40s, maybe 50s, and they start telling me I cannot learn a foreign language, I'm too old. So that's a common one, I'm too old. Which of course is just a belief, because everybody can learn anything. You can learn to speak a foreign language when you're 50, 60, 70, even if you're 80 years old. So that's just a belief. But once you have that belief, it will prevent you from actually doing what you want to do in your life. So that's why it's so important to spend some time overcoming limiting beliefs in your life. And let me give you an example. Let's imagine you have a car accident and you lost all your memories. You don't remember anything from your past, your parents, your family, your job. And then you have your friends, and everybody is telling you that you used to be a Navy SEAL, and they want you back in a team. They want you back because you were one of the best Navy SEAL that ever existed. And now think about it. If you believe that you are actually, or used to be, a Navy SEAL, how do you react? You will probably believe it because everybody is telling you that you are a Navy SEAL. And then you will start taking action to get back in shape. You will start train, work out, and you will have the belief, you will have the confidence that you can actually come back and be a Navy SEAL. But it's just a belief again. So I hope you understand how important it is to really change your belief. So now let's say, how do you actually identify a limiting belief? So one thing you can do is to look at different areas of your life, like your finance, your career, your relationships, your emotions, your mindset, all these things. And in each area, you want to ask yourself, okay, so here, what is actually holding me back here? So how come I don't get the result that I want in that area of my life? And most of the time, if you do that, you will start identifying a certain belief that you have, or a few beliefs that you have in that area. So many people have issues about money, for instance. So they have a certain image, certain belief that usually came from their parents. So they tend to have the same money blueprint. That's how Harv Eker, from the guy who wrote Secret of the Millionaire Mind, talk about this, how many people have a blueprint about money. So if their parents used to make money, lose money, make money, lose money, they will do the same in their life. And they will not understand why. So, and once they understand that it's just a belief, everything's going to change for them. So that's one example of belief. So now what you want to do when you have limiting belief is ask yourself, is it really true? So if you think, okay, I'm not confident, is there a time in your life or a situation where you were actually confident? So maybe it's when you play sports. Maybe you like to play sports, you're good at it, you feel really confident, and you can interact with other people because you're really confident in that area. Maybe it's cooking, you know how to cook, you're confident about that. Or maybe also look at your past. So maybe in your past, you had some success or you were confident. And when you start looking at many different examples in your life, you will start realizing that your belief is not true. It's not 100% true. And you will start deconstructing your belief. And you want to keep doing that over time, every day. So that's the first step that you want to take. Really look at your belief, and is it really true? Because your beliefs are always based on certain assumptions that you have about your life. And once you have that belief that you want to overcome, you want to find another belief, so a new belief, an empowering one that will actually help you overcome your previous belief. So it's like a habit. When you have a habit, you can't really get rid of a habit just like that. What you can do is change that habit for a new one, a new empowering one, a better one. So it's the same with belief. You want to replace your old belief with a new belief. And once you have that new belief, you want to look at examples in your life, as I mentioned previously. So a time when you were confident in your past or in different areas of your life. And you also want to look at certain role model online, for instance. So let's say you think like, okay, I want to exercise, but I'm too old. Now I'm like 60 years old, I'm too old. And if you look online, I remember a story of a guy who was actually, I think he was 100, and he ran a marathon, and he was 100. So think about it. If someone who is 100-year old can actually run a marathon, what does it say about you? Because most of us, we have the same, more or less the same mind. So we can do the same thing. We can do similar thing. And the more you look at people who are in a different position, or they're embodying the belief that you want to have, the more you'll be able to overcome your belief and see that it is actually false. And one more thing you want to do is to find, as I say, role models or friends, people you can actually hang out with. Because if they have the belief of the belief system that you want, if they are confident or if they have a different belief about money, for instance, you want to be with these guys. You want to learn from them. You want to pick up their brain and their belief. So that's why it's so important. And now you can ask yourself, so you look at your belief, or hopefully you have one belief now. So you look at your belief and you ask yourself, who would I be without that belief? Like, who would I be if I weren't shy, for instance? If I was confident, if I had absolute confidence, how would I act? You want to start seeing yourself in that position, in that situation, where you are confident, or where you are, you have no problem with money, where you feel where you're good enough. So you really want to think of yourself and identify who you would become or who you would be without that belief. So that's the next step that you want to take in order to overcome your limiting belief. And once you have that new empowering belief in place, you want to condition your mind. Because one thing that you have to understand is that the belief that you have now was conditioned in the past, either by your parents, society, the media, your teacher. It has been conditioned. Usually is with repetition or emotions. So if you want to change your belief, you also have to change your emotions, and you have to repeat. You have to use repetition every day. So that's why I really like to have a morning ritual, so that every single day I know I'm going to condition my mind to feel happier, to feel more grateful for what I have in my life, or to feel more confident. And you repeat that belief again and again. So I remember when I started with affirmations, I used one affirmation which was, I love being confident. I love being confident. I love being confident. And I would repeat that belief for 5 minutes or 10 minutes every day. And what I would do is also picture myself in a certain situation where I'm usually not confident. So that's also a very important point. You want to use affirmations and visualizations. And imagine a situation where you're usually shy, for instance, and imagine yourself being confident, and imagine yourself having a better posture, better body language, a more powerful voice. You want to imagine yourself being smiling also. And at the same time, repeat your affirmation. I love being confident. I love being confident. I love being confident. I love being confident. You repeat that again and again every day. And if you do that for 30 days, maybe a couple of months, you will see some change in your life. So that's one way you can actually start really overcoming your limiting beliefs. You have to be patient because it can be a long process. It's never easy to actually remove some of your most persistent belief about yourself. So that's how you can actually overcome your limiting beliefs. Also, when you use affirmations, you want to use the present tense. So I am confident, or I love being confident. And you want to avoid using things like not or never, but always use positive. I am confident. Or in my case would be I am a writer, for instance. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video about limiting beliefs. If you have questions, you can leave a question below, and I'm going to try to see if I can actually see your questions or your comments and answer them. So I don't know if you have a question. I can see. Sweep left to see the universe. Okay. Okay, I cannot see any questions. Okay, give a summary. Okay, so yeah, it's a good idea to wrap up. So first, you want to understand that the belief is very important. It's really what conditions your mind, and it will affect, for instance, things like how long you're going to live, or how much money you're going to make, or it will affect the quality of your relationships also. So that's why the belief is very important. It will affect your entire life. And then you want to identify what beliefs are limiting you, are holding you back in your life. So you want to look at all areas of your life and ask yourself, what is holding me back in that area of my life? And then you want to ask yourself about that belief that you have. So, okay, so I have this belief. Is it true or not? And the more you dig deeper, you will realize it is not true. There's many cases in your life, in your personal life, in your past life, online, or with your friends, that will show you that your belief is not actually true. And then you want to design a more empowering belief in your life. So usually the opposite belief, I'm confident. If you think I'm not confident, I'm confident, or I'm good enough. Or I love making money because I can help more people, or that kind of belief. You want to change your belief for a more empowering one. Then you want to ask yourself, if you had that new belief in your life, who would you be? Who would you be with that belief? Who would you be if you were absolutely confident? Or if you have no issue about money and you were able to make more money, you were able to help more people, you were able to give more money to charities, or to have more impact? So who would you be with that new belief? And how does it make you feel about yourself? Feel good about yourself, feel confident, sense of pride. So that's the next step. And then last step is that you want to condition your mind every day. That's extremely important. So you want to have a daily routine every day. Every morning is better in the morning. And use affirmations to repeat the same thing. So to repeat your new empowering belief. I love being confident. I love being confident. Or I love making more money and being wealthy because I can have more impact on the world. So you can use this type of affirmations using a present tense and avoiding using things like not. And then you want to add visualizations. So imagine yourself in a specific situation where you're usually not confident, for instance. And imagine yourself being confident. Imagine yourself being smiling, having a better body language, having a better posture, having a better smile, and feeling better, feeling happier, feeling more at ease. So that's what you want to do in order to overcome your limiting beliefs. So I hope that answers your question. So I give a brief summary of the steps you can use to overcome your limiting belief.